Milos Raonic will start on serve in the near court.
Milos Raonic to serve. Ready? Play. Love 15.
Raonic has dealt with so many injuries throughout his career. In 2019 alone, he pulled out or withdrew from events because of back injury, a right knee, glute, and hip. And that's just in 2019.
Good couple points there. Pospisil obviously getting the freebie to start, but doing a great job of getting as many balls as he can in play off the Raonic service starts. Trying to get a rally started.
Obviously, Raonic is the favored player, the higher ranked player. What does Vasek have to do to Raonic to get into this match and give himself a chance to win this match? After this match.
Starting off really well right now. I love how he mixes in the slice. I think that's going to be a really key shot for Pospisil today. You know, getting in, mixing it up, and then when he sees his opportunity to come in and make Raonic pass him off the backhand side. Pospisil, when he's coming in and moving forward, he volleys unbelievably well. You know, obviously, with all the success that he's had in doubles, but he uses that well in singles. When he's moving forward, he's a dangerous player to stop.
On the board.
I think for Raonic right now, obviously he's feeling extremely confident even with his baseline game. You know, he's going to have to really focus on making a lot of first serves because Pospisil will be aggressive on second serves. He knows his pattern. He knows where he likes to go on his favorite points. So going to be key for Raonic to keep that first serve percentage up. That will work as well.
Brute force.
That's a big time shot there from Raonic. Pospisil doing a really good job of defending that ball behind him, but Raonic is going to look to do that. Pospisil moves extremely well laterally. It's the up and back movement where he can struggle at times, but behind him like that was smart play there from Raonic to open up the court on the next one.
So from love 40 down, Raonic has battled his way back to deuce here in the opening game of the match. Pospisil's 5th trip to the second round at the U.S. Open, but he's never gotten past this, never gone to the third round. Vasek's injuries, it was really that back injury that knocked him out for the first 6 months of 2019 that put him behind the 8 ball a little bit.
He's one of the hardest working guys that I've seen. Even when he was having that surgery, I knew he'd be back. It was just a matter of time. He's a true professional, Pospisil.
Pospisil, before the shutdown, was having something pretty good in 2020 at the start of the year.
He's probably playing some of the best tennis of his career.
And getting to the round of 16 in Rotterdam, beating Medvedev. Getting to the final in Montpellier. We beat Shapovalov, Gasquet, and Goffin before losing to Gael Monfils, who was nearly unbeatable at that time.
Pospisil indoors, super strong. Good serve there from Raonic.
He might have been hoping for rain so they could close the roof and make this an indoor match.
Yeah.
Then again, Milos is pretty good in the controlled environment too.
Absolutely.
There's a beautiful look at Louis Armstrong Stadium.
A little bit shaky of a start here from Raonic, a little bit of nerves. It's never easy playing against someone that you've known since you were kids. They played doubles together in juniors as well, so like we talked about, it's never easy playing a friend, but they're both very good at compartmentalizing and putting that aside. They're not friends right now at all, but they'll be friends after, but right now this is a lot on the line here for both.
This is all business.
Yes.
Stakes in cold hard cash. This is a $63,000 match at least. The loser of this match will take home $100 grand, and the winner will get $163 for making their way to the third round.
There you see Frank Dancevic there. He's been helping out Vasek Pospisil, also the Canadian Davis Cup captain, former player himself.
Year in 2019 for Canada in Davis Cup, getting all the way to the final for the first time.
You talk about Davis Cup, Frank Dancevic, Pospisil's coach, he had a historic match for Canada. Has a huge win over Marcel Grenollers in Vancouver, Canada. I happen to be on the sideline for that match. Best tennis I think I've ever seen live in my life was that match from Frank Dancevic. It was unbelievable. He could not miss a ball. Nicknamed Frank the Tank from that match.
It's a great nickname. Some old school partying after that match too. Don't worry, I won't ask you to elaborate.
No.
You might not remember anyway. But bits and pieces, perhaps.
That was a huge tie win for Canada over Spain.
Took about 9 minutes to get through that first game from love 40 down. Milos Raonic saves 4 break points and holds.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be happy with the hold, obviously. Most of the time, Raonic does not struggle that much to hold serve, but good game there from Pospisil. If Pospisil can keep putting that kind of pressure on the Raonic serve, he's going to be happy with that because he'll get one coming around if he gets that many looks. But he had 4 looks in that game alone, just couldn't convert on any of them, but didn't really have an opportunity to be aggressive. I think every single break point, Raonic really took control and did a good job of moving forward or coming up with the goods. If if you're Pospisil, you just tip of the hat on those break points. But keep doing what you can, keep plugging away, just trying to stay in those Raonic games. But now you got to take care of your serve. Not easy coming back after having those opportunities to break someone like Raonic. You know you're not going to get looks that often.
For those of you who aren't totally familiar watching this with Vasek Pospisil, go online and look up some of the stuff he did during the shutdown with Bethany Maddox-Sands.
Well, that was fun to watch.
What a great show they had. They had other players on. It was all players, and it was talking about stuff you usually don't hear players talk about.
It's a good serve there from Pospisil. Really has a smooth motion, hits his spots really well. You talked about things that Pospisil was getting into. I mean, he definitely has gotten into the music a little bit. He plays guitar now.
He was one of the first to start his own YouTube channel.
Yes.
Several years ago.
He's also become entrepreneurial. He's an investor in a company called Hecate.
What is that?
It is a mushroom supplement
Okay.
that maximizes your performance and overall health.
All right.
It's no magic. You know what Hecate means?
I know. What does it mean?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay. These aren't magic mushrooms. This
Well,
is...
hey, you're close. Hecate comes from the Greek goddess of magic.
Aha.
He says they're not magic mushrooms. They're just a dietary health supplement.
They're not going to make you hallucinate?
No, not that kind. Good serving there from Pospisil. I didn't get a chance to ask him, but I'd want to know if he's going to plan on trying to sell it to his fellow tour members.
I'm sure he will.
Well, I mean, you can't let it's a secret weapon. But it is business at the end of the day.
I was going to say, might be a secret weapon, but cash is king.
Good hold there from Pospisil. No, I really like about Pospisil, he's always got that positive energy. Shows a lot of fist pumps, getting himself going, especially at the start of this match. It's good for him to kind of show Raonic that he's there and he means business right away. A couple good fist pumps already.
Pospisil, even last year in the first round of the Open, beat Korean Hachinov. It's a nice win for him in the first round before falling in the second.
Serve there from Raonic. Talked about, the shutdown and, Pospisil getting involved in this Hecate company. He told me that it really helps him recover, especially after his surgery. He says he was never really a supplement guy, and this really changed his outlook, so obviously got involved.
I got to think recovery is really paramount, especially during the Open, because this is the first time since the shutdown the players are going best of 5. So coming back after even just playing a tough 3-setter, recovery is so big, even with a day off in between matches.
Yeah.
Cut on that return.
You're going to have to take some chances on the return, just like he did in that opening game. There he is, Frank the Tank Dancevic.
He hasn't been off the tour that long.
No, still looking fit. And Raonic, during the quarantine, he actually rented a house down in South Florida so that he was able to practice. Lots of pros in that area he was able to practice with. You have Opelka, Tommy Paul, Francis Tiafoe, all in that area, so he had a lot of practice partners. obviously social distancing. You know, renting a house with a court in the backyard is always nice. Kind of stay private, do your own thing. Brought his trainer down there as well, so he's able to put in the work, and he's looking fit.
Raonic holds for a 2-1 lead. You know, we mentioned their head-to-heads on the ATP Tour. It's worth noting that Vasek Pospisil won the last time they played.
Trust me, they both are aware of that.
And they're both trying to use it to their advantage
Yes,
in some
well aware.
way. Yeah.
Well aware.
Each of these guys took out a well-established tour veteran in the first round. Philip Kohlschreiber in straight sets, 6-5 and 6 for Pospisil. Leonardo Meyer, pardon me, 3-2 and 3 for Raonic. Raonic got to his 5th Australian Open quarterfinal at the beginning of this year, where he lost to, drum roll, Novak Djokovic. I imagine there are a lot of guys that are rooting for whoever plays Djokovic. Just have a day. Nothing personal.
No.
It makes life easier when the best guy in the tournament is gone.
We watched Edmund playing yesterday. He won the first set. He's playing some of the best tennis I've ever seen him play. It was the good news. The bad news, he was going to have to do that for 4 hours.
That's what it's going to take.
Yeah. Good serve there from Pospisil, right into the body of Raonic, handcuffing him there.
Pospisil holds for 2-all, and remember, you can download the US Open app to cheer on your favorite players, track the latest scores, stats, match highlights, player news, and a whole lot more. It's available in the App Store and on the Google Play Store. I will personally vouch for it because I'm using it pretty much every day here at the US Open.
Talk about Pospisil's coach before, Frank Dancevic, who's also the Davis Cup captain for Canada right now. He actually played a match earlier this year in Auckland when there was a lot of alternates and withdrawals, so he still played.
Wow.
Yeah. He lost to Emer, but it's a good show.
I gotta think years from now, these will be the good old days for Canada tennis. I mean, Canada tennis is peaking.
Yeah.
Bianca Andreescu, the winner of the US Open last year, Canadian.
Yeah, it's so good there from Raonic. Really setting it up with the serve and forehand. He's very, very dangerous when he's running around and hitting the forehand from the ad side. That's when he can really disguise his forehand and go anywhere. But he loves that short inside-out forehand and following it in. Really good stuff there from Raonic.
And Raonic holds it love on serve through 5 games, 3-2 to the 25 seed.
Good serve there from Pospisil. Really disguises his serve so well with his ball toss. He's able to go either direction. Last change the wrist the last second there from Pospisil. It's a really consistent ball toss, and that's what helps him disguise his serve. There's that slice that we talked about. He's going to really try and keep that low on Raonic so that he can't really pummel it or hurt him. It's a smart play from Pospisil.
Raonic unable to get that one up and down quickly enough to get it back in the court.
It's a tough shot to hit. That's the attacking style that Pospisil does so well. You heard him after he missed that last forehand, kind of mumbled to himself saying to step in. Just got caught waiting on it a little too long there. He took just 2 steps inside, taking time away from Raonic and making him hit the pass. Good stuff there from Pospisil.
Probably won't see a ton of long rallies between these two. And a bunch of aces for sure. That's Pospisil's second of the match. And he holds for 3-all.
Also really smart serving from Pospisil, because you'll see on this Armstrong court, you can see the shadow starting to kind of creep in on that side. And when you are serving or returning, when the ball comes in and out of the shadow, really hard to judge it. You kind of lose it in the depth perception there. So we watch for both players to be serving right into that shadow. It's difficult as a returner.
Big inside-out forehand from Raonic. We'll see that shadow creep its way all the way across the court.
Eventually.
As this match goes on, depending on how long it goes, obviously. It'll create some weird shadows when half the court's in shade and half the court's in bright sunshine. Well, Pospisil's taking a second look. He might ask for a review there.
He's going to... Did he challenge? This is one of the only 2 courts here that have actual umpires on them, so it's not just electric line calls, but got to remember to challenge. He's used to his first match. Both players didn't have actual umpires in their first match. Oh, taking a long look at that, Pospisil.
Yeah, that's called Hawkeye Live, which they're using on every other court besides Ash and Armstrong, which electronically calls all the lines and foot faults.
That's too good there from Raonic. Pospisil's not getting that unless he guesses.
Andy Murray had an issue with that in his first match. He forgot or didn't know that you could challenge. He was waiting for the call. And the chair umpire had to tell him, look, you have 3 challenges. He said, okay. Second serve, a little too much for Pospisil to handle, and Raonic holds for a 4-3 lead. New balls for Vasek Pospisil on serve at 3-4 in the first. Doubles success. He won 2014 Wimbledon with Jack Sock. It was their first tournament playing together. Didn't you play little doubles with Vasek too?
Actually, funny, I played doubles with Pospisil the year before that. So we made round of 16 doubles at Wimbledon. And then next year he dumps me and plays with Jack Sock, and that was a good move for Pospisil because he ended up winning the whole thing.
Not so good for you.
Yeah, I told him, good thing you dumped me because you wouldn't have won Wimbledon. was actually super superstitious that year when we were playing doubles together. Every time that we would win a match, he'd want to go to the same restaurant every night in the Wimbledon Village. And I was like, really? Like, we got to go to the same place? And I used to be like that too sometimes, but he was really all about it, and I was down because we kept winning.
Don't want to change a good thing.
No.
All right, Raonic has an opportunity here. Love 30. He'll get a crack at a second serve. Now, Milos Raonic will have the opportunity that Pospisil had in the opening game of this match, which is love 40.
Yeah, that was really big hitting there from Raonic, really exposing that side there, really being aggressive. Big target, but wasn't going for too close to the line, but really picking his spots well.
One save.
15-40.
Another great serve there from Pospisil.
30-14.
125 down the tee. Hit his spot. Still another break chance for Raonic.
Loves going out wide on this ad side down break point. This is one of his best serves.
Of course, Milos knows that.
Yeah. He's kind of cheating over too on that side.
He was. And a big second serve from Pospisil and saves all 3 break points.
Yeah, it's obviously Pospisil's fired up there to save those 3 in a row. Good second serve there. Raonic will want that back, just try and put that in play. Maybe be a little bit more aggressive, take a step in, put some pressure on Pospisil, but just took a little bit off that, almost decelerated.
Advantage, Pospisil.
Great job since being down in this game, really taking his time, going back to the line, really focusing, not rushing. Felt like the first couple points in this game he rushed. Now he's really taking his time.
He still has work to do.
Deuce.
He never actually had to play a second ball on any of those break chances.
Advantage Pospisil.
It's something I always admired about Pospisil, just, obviously as a friend and as a doubles teammate, that his attitude, he was always so positive. Always does a great job getting himself up. Raonic
really worked hard to get his body around to hit a forehand. Wasn't able to corral it, and Pospisil holds for 4-all.
First set.
When Vasek and Jack Sock won Wimbledon that year in 2014, they beat the Bryan brothers in the final 7-5 in the 5th.
That was an amazing match. And you talk about Pospisil playing so much doubles. He really used doubles to boost his confidence in singles as well. I mean, winning builds confidence no matter if it's doubles or even if it's at a challenger level event. When you're winning matches, that's gaining confidence.
By the way, shout out to Bob and Mike, who called it a career right before the U.S. Open. 2 of not only the greatest doubles players of all times, but 2 of the best ambassadors this sport has seen.
Absolutely.
Love.
talked about also, we talked about Pospisil starting at company Hikati. Raonic, actually, when he was recovering from injury, got involved in helping disadvantaged children, launching the Milos Raonic Foundation. James support children from disadvantaged backgrounds to remove economic, physical, and other barriers that might prevent them from becoming healthy. It's really good stuff there from Raonic.
30 love.
I'm so impressed with the sheer numbers of tennis players in this event and around the world who have started their own foundations for different reasons. Really trying to do a lot of good in this world.
So big. Serve is just untouchable. 137 up the tee with ease. I mean, that's the thing too, is it doesn't even look like he's really trying to pop it. It just comes off his racket with such authority.
Again, Raonic.
Another big
Raonic
one
leads
from the
5 games to
Canadian.
4. First set.
Still on serve. Raonic leads 5-4.
$15 love.
I don't suspect we're going to see too many prolonged rallies between these two. We haven't really yet. There's just so much power on both sides of the net.
But that's a pretty amazing pickup there from Pospisil. That was not an easy shot. He's kind of looking at his coach, Frank Jancevic, saying, hey, you see that pickup?
The smile on his face tells all.
Look how low this was, and he caught it on the bounce. Just timed that perfectly.
Dare I say, that was Sampras-esque, who could probably hit a drive half volley better than anyone in the modern era. Vasek's feeling good.
40 love. Let first serve. Again, Pospisil.
Yeah. First serve's 1, second serve 1.
5 games
right on the
all.
money.
First set.
Yeah, these guys' serving stats are nearly identical right
5
now.
aces each.
Until 5 all.
Yeah. Both players doing a really good job when down break point of playing really aggressive, controlled tennis. Not going for too much, but being aggressive.
Well, that's the longest rally of the match so far.
That was big hitting there from
15-5.
both players. See how they're kind of following where that shadow's going in the court? Now they're trying to kind of hit down the middle hard because it's really difficult. Some of it's in the sun, half in the shade. Difficult to see. I know I struggled with it. Maybe it doesn't bother them, but it's not easy.
It also shows you how fast the shadow moves. It was in the doubles alley a couple games ago.
$15 all.
Raonic had to save 4 break points in the opening game of this match. Pospisil had 3 break chances to save in his last service game before last. Other than that, no break points.
Ready 15.
You said they weren't going to be a lot of long rallies. Both players serving extremely well and hitting their spots, making it really difficult to neutralize the point off the serve. That's a really good return there from Pospisil.
30 all.
Really deep in the court to the Raonic backhand. Usually Raonic is looking for a forehand on that first ball after the serve. Pospisil really taking that away from him there, the way he hit that return. He's going to want to do a lot more of that.
Wow.
The common thread is on the big points or when they needed it most. Both players have come up with big first serves.
Just showing how confident he is right now, too. The spot that he picks on that serve at 30 all, 5 all.
Again, Raonic.
Raonic holds for 6-5,
Raonic leads
careening
6 games
towards
to
the
5.
tiebreak on
First set.
Armstrong. Serving at 5-6 to his countryman and friend, Milos Raonic. 5-6. First set. Russ Thaler and Canadian Jesse Levine on the call, too. This is
Love 15.
and a lot of no subtlety in that rally. That was just how hard can we hit it right down the middle of the court.
Now, I've been really impressed with the way Pospisil striking the ball today. He's doing a great job of moving forward as well. Both players 100% conversion when coming to the net. That's too good. Good return there from Raonic, doing a good job getting a racket on it, putting something on it too. And Pospisil
15 all.
really doing a great job of moving into the court to take that time away. Doesn't have to hit it as hard if he's taking the time away like that, moving in, taking it real early. Impressive stuff.
The 15-30.
And look out now. Milos Raonic with a little bit of an opening right here at the end of the first set.
Another great serve there from Pospisil. Really doing a great job picking his spot, sticking with it, staying aggressive.
It's got to be the story of this set so
Yeah.
far. Clutch serving from both players.
Especially first serve.
Well, they're both serving at 70% on first serves.
Oh, come on.
Raonic had a look, and Pospisil did him one better.
Put a stab on that volley. That was not easy. Great pass there from Raonic, making Pospisil really come up with the goods on this stretch.
40-30.
Stayed home real nice. Got a good piece of that forehand too. Pospisil doing a great job at the net. Great coverage there.
Milos nearly ran it down. That is a big man moving forward at a rapid pace.
Game Pospisil.
Right, fittingly so.
6
We
games
head
all.
to a tiebreak here in the first set.
Tiebreak.
What's funny
Both
is
players have
on
received
paper you would
one
think that the
additional
tiebreaker may
challenge.
favor Raonic, but when you're playing a countryman like that and you're playing a friend, all that goes out the window here. And starting fresh here for this breaker. They know each other's game so well.
When you're playing someone that you know as well as these guys know the other person,
Can we have all the 6?
can you start second guessing yourself? Because you know, say, I know Milos wants to serve wide in the ad court on a big point. Well, he knows that I know that. So now is he going to go down the middle? Do you start pulling that? Can you mentally mess with yourself?
A little bit, but when you have the weapons that these guys possess, you don't worry about the other player so much. You just take care of what you can control. Raonic is just going to worry about hitting his serve in the spot that he wants. Take it from there. Same for Pospisil on the first serve. Great hitting there from Raonic.
1-0.
His goal is to hit a first serve and get a forehand. That's his goal.
Raonic.
Pospisil almost got it to the backhand side, but goal achieved there for Raonic. Pospisil is going to look to do the same. Watch in some of these crucial points in this tiebreaker for Pospisil to throw in some serve and volley.
We've seen him do it already a little bit in the first set. Last time was that amazing half volley pickup. Sometimes when someone has that much of a strength, especially on the forehand side, you almost want to go to the strength first. Go to the forehand to open up the backhand and try and expose it. Milos had that power going. He made Vasek move to his forehand side. Missed a forehand of his own.
Two, 1. Raonic.
That's the second double fault of the match for Pospisil, and it gives Raonic the early mini break here.
Raonic.
A lot of guys have asked me, who's the most difficult serve to return? You know, is it Isner or Karlovic? I play both of them, but I'm telling you the Raonic serve is top of the list.
What makes his serve the most difficult to return? We know he's got pace and power and all that stuff. And you can answer after the point. We talking just first or first and second serve?
Both.
Pospisil did a nice job of fending off that big second serve.
4-1
Raonic just followed it up with too much good stuff.
That's just confident tennis there from Raonic. And you ask what makes his serve so difficult to return. It's his delivery that makes it so difficult. It's so smooth, but his toss has the same toss a lot of the time, and he doesn't stick to his patterns all the time. He can really mix it up, hit his spots. He can go short in the court. He can fire it right into your body, hit the kick, hit the slice. He has all of the serves. The disguise that he has is second to none. That's really good stuff there from Raonic.
5-1.
Got away with that slice, kind of maybe
Raonic.
mishit that a little bit, but kept it real short in the court, making Pospisil move up to it. Only thing he could do is go for a rip cross court, but left that line wide open. This is must-win points here for Pospisil.
exchange ends after 6 points, and Raonic has taken full control of this first set tiebreak. Pospisil gave him one with a double fault, but Raonic's level has not dropped at all.
A little shaky start in the first game of the first set here. After getting through that, he really loosened up and started playing extremely confident tennis. Both players playing extremely well. It's just a couple points here and there is going to make the difference in this first set.
Six one. Raonic.
I feel like Pospisil's serve let him down a little bit here in this tiebreak. Been serving so well.
Game and
the
first set, Raonic.
goes to the 25 seed, Milos Raonic,
7 games
in the
to 6.
tiebreak. It's time to start set number 2.
Pospisil to serve.
Russ Thaler and Jesse Levine on the call from Armstrong. This is day 4 of the 2020 U.S. Open, the 140th U.S. Open.
Fifteen love.
Good serve there from
30 love.
Pospisil. Haven't seen him serve and volley too much yet. I think he's waiting to kind of throw that in the mix, but he has that play. Very successful when he does it, especially coming in behind a serve like that. Oh, good drop shot there from Pospisil.
40 love. Game, Pospisil.
It's just the start you want
First
after
game,
that break there
second
for
set.
Pospisil.
A little bit of a palate cleanser, if you will.
Both these players have been true warriors for the Canadian Davis Cup team. Having huge success.
That team is becoming harder and harder to get on these days.
They are deep.
Felix Auger-Aliassime and Denis Shapovalov, all 4 of these guys still in the event.
I'll tell you one guy that they'll miss is Daniel the Chief Nestor. What a legend. If he's listening right now, the tennis misses you. He was the backbone of that team, always the life of the locker room. But I'll tell you what, I always said that when Pospisil plays Davis Cup, he always brings his energy level up and gets so fired up. I always wanted to see a little bit of that when he was playing on the tour and in Grand Slams.
That's a little Kyrgios-like. Gets a little bit more
15
emotional
love.
energy going in the team format, and especially playing for your country.
Yeah.
That was a big return from Pospisil, and had
30
a
love.
good look at that forehand.
He's going to be happy with that. It's a good return. Just not executing that second shot there, but Raonic getting a little bit lucky with the unforced error there from Pospisil.
Would that be considered a good miss?
Yes. No such thing as a good miss, but a good hit.
He was going for the right shot.
Yes, exactly.
Thirty 15.
Fourth double fall to the match for Raonic.
Looked like he
40-15.
moved on that overhead. Just right there, perfect on the tee for him. Just hit that overhead off the bounce.
He hit it nice and calmly, too.
Yeah.
There was nothing rushed at all.
Again, Raonic.
Pospisil might want another look at that.
1 game all.
It looked good for
Second
from
set.
here, but not sure if it's worth a challenge. But
Doesn't look like he will.
No.
136 down the tee. Likely clipped part of that line.
both players just doing a great job, just keeping their head down, taking care of their serve, and just weathering the storm on each other's return games, trying to find a way to get in one.
Let. Second serve. Love 15.
When Raonic is really playing confident tennis, that's when he's putting a lot of returns in play, really making his opponent earn every service game.
$15 all. Study 15.
It's a good second serve there from Pospisil, just getting that a little bit high on the Raonic backhand. Tough for him to really do something. Kind of got caught a little bit too far behind the baseline. Either take a couple more steps back or move in a little bit for Raonic. Saw him do that in his first match. That's great play there.
Be curious to see what adjustments he makes as this
40,
match
15.
goes on, because there have been a couple of second serves
Yeah.
that have gotten out of his strike zone on the backhand side.
I've seen him do both, where and that's
Yeah,
what Pospisil's
Pospisil.
going to want to do a lot of. Make him pass on that backhand.
Pospisil leads 2 games to 1 second set. First set, Raonic. New balls, please.
On serve in the second, Raonic took the first. Into the second set, and this match feels like it's being played on a razor's edge. There's not much between these guys. Not many points have decided games in the first set. It's gonna be a little nerve-wracking.
tell you, every match
15
that I've
down.
seen these two play, whether it's at the future challenger level, tour level event, Master Series, now Grand Slam, they've all been pretty tight.
Too
Too good there from Raonic.
We hear it in other sports a lot where a coach will say somebody's got to make a play. That's what it feels like here. Somebody's going to make a play, and that's going to be the difference.
Really don't mind that play from Pospisil. Kind of chipping the return in play just deep.
40-15.
Raonic really kind of come up with his own pace, forcing him to come in. Good passing shot there. Gave it the 1-2. Didn't try and do too much too soon.
Is Pospisil a little more comfortable moving forward than Raonic?
I would say so in the moving forward category, yes. That's something that Raonic has really worked on a lot, is moving forward. When you have the game that he has with the serve and the forehand and moving forward, he would be just so dangerous. And when he comes to the net, just not a lot of room to pass him. He's got so much leverage and that wingspan. The good news is it's not affecting his ground game, that's for sure.
No, he laid it on heavy on that forehand.
Yeah, but he did look like he was in a little bit of pain on that serve, so hopefully.
Yeah, let's see if it was pain or was he just a little bit, you know, had a little trepidation about actually going after it. Of course, it's been talked about so many times, but it's tough to be on the other side of the net.
Yeah, yeah. For Raonic, obviously seeing that he's in a little bit of pain or discomfort. You know, sometimes you try and do too much, just trying to be a little too tentative, just trying to make a play to see, kind of test out the waters a little bit. So not easy. Just got to focus on your game. Don't worry about.
30-15.
Can't worry about the other side of that. You can only control what you can control.
Spoken like a coach.
I mean,
but it's true.
Yeah, he's probably telling himself the same thing.
I'm sure he is. It's just hard in the moment.
Yeah. Good point for Pospisil. Good to see him fist pumping a little bit here. Knows how important it is to hold this game.
40-15. Pospisil.
Pospisil
leads 3 games to second set.
And holds
First
serve
set,
for a
Raonic.
3-2 lead in the second.
15 love.
Good serve there from Raonic.
Ninth ace of the match.
Yep. Really impressed with the Raonic focus. He's just been dialed in, except for the very first game. But since the first game of the match, he's been extremely focused and dialed in.
Oh! 30-15.
That forehand approach.
Pospisil doing a good job of getting a racket on that. He really put him far out wide. Thought Raonic was maybe going to go behind him because he saw Pospisil on the run. Sometimes when you see your opponent running that fast to the corner, you just try and do a little bit too much. And looks like Raonic tried to dip that right in the corner perfectly instead of giving himself a little bit more margin.
40-15.
It's nice to come back after an error like that with a serve like that. Follow it up.
And now points for 3-all.
Today.
That's an unbelievable return. Raonic hit a great serve too, right in the perfect spot. Pospisil looked like he was kind of leaning that way.
Hit it 129 and came back with a little bit of interest.
Yeah.
Deep down the center.
I think it caught Raonic a little bit off guard. Wasn't expecting him to come back that deep with that kind of pace.
That both players did
Mr.
so well
Raonic challenging the call.
Was served
Right service
big
line, the ball
in
was
big
called
moments. I think, I don't think this ball was anywhere near it. Kind of shocked. He challenged.
Second serve.
So wants a look at a second serve here. And he went after it.
Yeah, those are the kind of chances
Advantage,
you need to take
Pospisil.
against the Raonic serve like that. You get a look at deuce in a second serve. You got
Mr. Raonic has 2 challenges remaining.
It in. Really great return there for Pospisil.
Pospisil made him play, but Raonic was up to the task down break point. It's the first break point he faced since the first game of the match.
He got a pretty good piece of this. He hit it with one hand, too, on the run. Thought he was going to maybe try and just dip it down low, but Pospisil hitting over the one-hander there.
And he made Milos hit and not an easy volley. Pospisil's going to have another opportunity to
Advantage
break.
Pospisil.
Yeah, Pospisil doing a really good job of being aggressive here and taking some chances. Forcing Raonic to come up with the pass. Another big point here.
There's the first break of the
Pospisil.
match. It goes to Vasek Pospisil, who takes a
Pospisil
4-2
leads
lead
4
in the
games to
second.
2 second set.
Got up pretty high for that fist pump after winning that point.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Smart drop shot there. Would have been a tough shot to kind of keep in front or actually put something on it, but doing a good job of angling that off nicely. Not trying to do too much here. You see how he gets up with his feet and then just skies in the last second, just short cross, making the big man Raonic try and come up with a pass.
It's interesting. It was so low that Raonic couldn't get it over the high part of the net, but it wasn't wide enough that he could go around. Now Pospisil serving at 4-2 in the second.
15 love.
And it looks like he's sort of erased any of that pain on the on his side from his mind. The adrenaline might be taking over.
Yep.
These guys have been so tight. The percentages are so close.
And sometimes now after you break, you get over that hump, you have to be a little bit careful
15
that you
all.
don't get too excited and get that adrenaline going a little bit too much.
This is also when the guy who got broken probably has the most adrenaline to get
Yeah.
back, you know?
Especially after having that many chances and then finally converting. So he knows how big that was.
Time violation warning, Mr. Pospisil.
That's an issue that some of the players have actually been having, getting time violation warning when the shot clock goes on. He's arguing that Fergus Murphy didn't start the clock on time. You're supposed to start it when he gets to the baseline. I mean, I agree with Pospisil on this. He really didn't stall or anything. He went back, towed off, bounced the ball 3 times, and still got a time violation. See the point he's making? Is he supposed to power walk or jog back to the line?
That is a very confident point played by Vasek Pospisil.
30-15.
He's using that instance there with the chair umpire to fire him up even more. He's pointing, he's walking back, toweling off, he's going to go up to the line. A really good dictating there with the forehand. Great job of moving the ball around and keeping Raonic on the run, not letting him stand still.
That'll be the tell whether or not the argument worked. And the clock is ticking down. He's going to give him another. This isn't Fergus
40-15.
Murphy's first rodeo either, so he's not going to be flustered by someone coming at him a little bit.
Usually I do see them kind of give him a heads up, like, hey, Pospisil, you're taking a little bit close time to the time clock and shot clock there, but I respect it. He is abiding by the rules. But I see both points of view on that.
Still one more chance here at 40-30 for 5-2 in the second. Pospisil's first serve percentage actually has gone way down in the second set. Hasn't shown on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Game, Pospisil.
And that's ace number 8.
Pospisil leads 5 games to
Vasek
2.
Pospisil, and
Second
he's a
set,
game away
first set,
from leveling
Raonic.
this match at 1 set apiece. Vasek Pospisil, 30 years old, from British Columbia. Dropped the first set in a tiebreak to Milos Raonic, his countryman and friend, in a tiebreak, but now it's Raonic serving to stay in the second set.
Yeah, that's good playing there from Raonic. Really good job recognizing the short ball. It's something he's really worked on a lot is moving forward. I'm telling you that his volleys have improved so much.
Steady love.
Too good.
40 love.
Pospisil's doing a good job. He's still staying engaged in this game. Some players might just kind of throw in the towel and just try and serve it out because they know they have their serve coming up, but not easy to turn it off and then turn it back on again with your energy level. Can be difficult. That one was
40-15.
letting loose on that one, Pospisil. Good smile for him. He said, why not? I'm going to do it again.
40-30.
Tee off as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Game Raonic.
He said, dare you to do that again. I'm going up the tee.
Pospisil leads 5 games to 3. Second set.
Right, always first point or two is so important when serving out the set. So let's see if Pospisil can get that first point or two here. Give him a little bit of breathing room. Don't want to fall behind when serving for the set.
He's only been serving at 50% on first serve during this set. Could use some big ones here.
Good return there from Raonic.
Pospisil, is he going to challenge the serve? He was wondering. He looked at Fergus Murphy.
Love 15. 15 all.
That was really close,
Yeah.
too.
It's a really good serve +1 there from Pospisil.
30-15.
Great job of recognizing that short ball, not letting it drop too low. Gets it well, it's well above the net.
All.
I was going to say, it's maybe that was a time for Raonic to maybe give him a different look. Take a couple steps back. Pospisil can kind of see him in the corner of his eye. Maybe force him to do a little too much or even force a double fault like he did there.
Now a set point for Vasek Pospisil.
40-30.
Well, Pospisil really didn't panic there. I thought at first he was going to hit over it and then decided to slice, but stayed calm and under control. Just getting that deep to the Raonic backhand and trying to make him come up with the pass.
There it is.
Game and second
One
set.
set apiece
Pospisil.
on Armstrong. This best
6
of
games to
5
3.
becomes a best
One
of
set
3
all.
now between the two Canadian friends and rivals. Milos Raonic and Vasek
Raonic to
Pospisil
serve.
have played at every level of tennis, from juniors to futures, challengers. Actually played in a 250, 500, 1000, Masters 1000, and now at a Grand Slam.
15 love.
And here they are, locked in battle on day 4 of the 2020 U.S. Open in the second round of the 140th running of this event. 1 set all, first game, third set.
You talk about them playing each other at all different levels. I got to tell you, Pospisil
30
was
love.
probably the better out of the two in juniors and maybe early on in the pros. He beat Milos the first 3 times in futures and challengers. Since then, Milos has won a little bit more often, so the rivalry has definitely heated up.
Pospisil comes into this match with
Mr.
bragging rights
Pospisil
because he
challenging
won
the
the
ball.
last meeting
Right, far sideline.
in Antwerp in 2018.
The ball was called in.
6 and 5 in the round of 16 of that event. I believe these stakes to be just a little bit higher. My goodness, that just caught a sliver. That's within the margin of error, I believe. But you know,
40 love.
nothing you can do about it.
Game
That's
Raonic.
just massive.
First game, third set. Mr. Pospisil has
You know,
2
both
challenges
Raonic
remaining.
and Pospisil are not old whatsoever, but they're the older of rivals. You know, and the next Canadians coming up, you have Ogier Aliassime and Denis Shapovalov, and hoping that will be an eventual rivalry, if it not is already. But you know,
Those two, I mean, are legit really close,
yes,
aren't
yes.
they? It was in 2017 that Chapo made his big breakthrough in Montreal, and he was sleeping on Felix's couch.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the story they like to
Yeah,
tell.
he played Rafa that night, and he said to Ogier Aliassime, "Are you really gonna have this poster up? Like, you gotta take it down. I'm playing him tomorrow."
Really? He
Yeah.
made him take the poster down?
Oh, made him take him down, and he ended up winning.
He should have drawn, like, you know, horns on it.
Should have put a poster of himself up after that win.
You know what? I'm sure plenty of kids in Canada did just that. I gotta say, credit to Chapo. He's wearing the old Agassi stuff, and it's cut like the old Agassi stuff, and he's pulling it off somehow.
It's got the flow.
Yeah.
Go with it.
Have you seen the young American J.J. Wolf?
That mullet is unreal.
It is Agassi circa 88. It's a young Agassi look. He needs
15
but
love.
the problem is, well, nothing. He's got a sponsor, which is great for him. But he needs something a little more flashy than what he's wearing. He needs the denim shorts or something to go along with it, because it is glorious. I'll just say that it is a glorious mullet.
Yeah, Pospisil's starting to serve a lot more pace now after having that injury timeout. It seems to have worked that cream and anti-inflammatory. Looks like he's feeling no pain now whatsoever. Raonic maybe take a little bit more chances on the return to serve, try and take the offense right away. Well, nothing you could do with that serve though.
30-15. (40-15). Again, Pospisil.
Pospisil has sort of found his rhythm.
Yeah.
One game all.
I mean, when he's hitting his spots on his
Third
serve
set.
and his first ball he's able to attack, that's when he's super dangerous and really hasn't even had to come into the net that much. And that's where one of his strengths is coming to the net and finishing points at the net. He's done so well in doubles, it's just carried over to singles, taking that confidence.
Out. Club 15.
Fergus Murphy calls that it was nearly a wasted opportunity for Pospisil. He hit such a great return.
Yeah.
He didn't follow it up with much. Kind of shanked his second ball. Nevertheless, Pospisil out early on the Raonic serve here, early in the third.
(15 all). (15-30).
Unforced error from the midcourt. Double fault. It's the kind of stuff you need from Milos to have a chance to break. And Pospisil must be sensing the opportunity here at 15-30.
Trouble here for Raonic, you know.
15-40.
Raonic's really going to take his time here. Knows this is a crucial moment. Obviously, being down 2 break points. You'll notice when he comes to the line, he's going to bounce the ball a certain amount of times now, and that's usually his rhythm. You'll see players do that a lot of time to kind of keep their rhythm and concentration. Bounce the ball a certain amount of times. You know, certain players bounce it 3-4 times. Some bounce it 8. Sometimes Djokovic would bounce at 20. Everybody's different.
Gotta keep an eye on that clock, though.
Yeah.
30-14.
Started his motion right as the clock hit 0.
Yeah.
He was able to get his whole routine in.
138.
That was an easy 138.
Yeah. Especially when, you know, you have nervous situations like this, you have to keep the rituals and the routines going. And every player has what works for them. And that is just massive to get out of trouble. And that's something that Raonic has done so well over the course of his career, realizing when the big moment is and when points are so much more important than others. You know, obviously being down 2 break points, did a great job of taking his time, picking his spots, and executing. Counted a good 8 bounces the last 4 serves.
Advantage Raonic.
And every single one of those serves have been right where he wanted them and putting them on the offense right away, taking control of the point. See if he keeps that routine up.
How many times did Novak bounce the ball?
A lot, a lot. Here we go. Yeah.
Bounce second serve, too.
Deuce.
Most players will bounce the ball less between first and second serve.
Sometimes, yeah. Obviously, under pressure moments, everybody's different. Oh, come on. What a reaction there from Pospisil. Just staying home. Good move. Actually, Raonic did a really good job with the pass there. Pospisil doing a good job just kind of stabbing that there, but Raonic just being a little too nice there. I thought he was going to just go right at him hard or to the open court. Pospisil has too good a hands to give him a look at that.
Might have been of 2 minds on that forehand.
Yep.
Pospisil not going anywhere. Still hasn't lost a point on net approaches in this match. 13 for 13.
That was a great return from Pospisil.
Deuce.
You could feel the tension in this game. This is a huge game.
This game is getting heavier and heavier with each point.
100%.
Pospisil seems
Advantage
to be on
Raonic.
the Raonic serve a little bit better now. He seems to be either he's guessing right or he's reading it. But he seems to be getting his racket on the first serve.
Got a good read on it right now.
7 minutes. A game point for Raonic.
Left. First serve.
Pospisil's eyeing this one down a little bit, see if he wants to challenge.
Deuce.
You know, you see a lot of these top players, a lot of the time they're not really going for the lines. You know, they're giving themselves 2-3 feet of margin so that if they don't hit it absolutely perfect, that they have some margin for error. And in the crucial moments like this is when you really do need to give yourself even more space. And that's where Raonic is just trying to just tuck that in a little bit too close to the line. Yeah.
Advantage
By
Raonic.
his reaction. He caught that second serve pretty clean, but put it right in the tape.
Game Raonic.
It feels like a very
Raonic
important
leads
hold.
2-1, third set, 1 set all.
Milos
New balls,
Raonic
please.
holds for 2-1 in the third. 1 set apiece on Armstrong. It is as tight as can be on Armstrong. 1 set apiece on serve in the third. Milos Raonic really wiggled his way out of that service game. Vasek Pospisil looked for all the world like he was starting to hone in around its serve, but Milos managed to hold. I find it interesting that Vasek's father's name is Milos. Who's your dad? That was too easy.
Love 15. Love 30.
Well, how about this?
Yep.
And how many times do we see this where a player almost comes up with a break?
So often. You have that many chances, then you come back. You got to focus on your serve now. Take your time.
Yeah. 15-30.
Two hours in, nothing much between these two right now.
Pospisil doing a really good job of hitting his spots down love 30, making sure he put the first serve in. Those are shots in the last match against Meyer that Raonic was not missing.
Right.
It just shows that a little bit of tension just tightens that arm up just a little bit more than normal. Talk about the pressure moments. You see Pospisil on his serve. He's got more of a continuous motion. He kind of only bounces it 2-3 times and then gets right into the serve. Raonic has a quick pause, so it's different for every player on what you do and what works for you on those pressure moments.
Well, I think this would definitely count as a pressure moment.
Yes.
1-2 deuce.
Yep, really smooth there for Pospisil, hitting a spot on the first serve, just kind of holding that forehand
Advantage
to
Pospisil.
the last second to see if Raonic was going to move one way or another. He saw him stay home and just went right to that open court. Big target there, smart play.
Game Pospisil.
Pospisil holds for 2-all in the third.
2 games all, third set.
A little bit wobbly in the last 2 service games for Raonic and then Pospisil. Both managed to wiggle out of it, or work their way out of it, as it were. USOpen.org, that's your online home for the point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats, and draws. You can visit the official tournament site at USOpen.org.
And 15 love.
It's a
15
really
all.
good return there for Pospisil. He's kind of found his stance too on where to stand to try and gauge it and catch it at the height that he wants to. Sometimes that Raonic serve can really creep up on you. Pospisil standing a little bit behind the baseline, but not too far either, to where it gives him too much angle.
30-15.
I like how you use the term creep up on you after you hit a 129 mile an hour serve.
I meant bounce high on you.
I know what you meant. It was just funny because they flashed the number right afterwards. And said, that's more like a bazooka creeping up on you. I know what you mean. In fact, a lot of Pospisil's second serves have crept up on Raonic in this match. In a similar fashion. Pospisil again, putting a little pressure on Raunic's backhand.
Yeah.
Because that's not even like an amazing approach shot, right?
I mean, he had good pace behind it, but he wasn't as far up in the court as he would have liked. He kind of forced that a little bit, but as someone, when you see your opponent coming in like that, it puts that much more pressure to do a little bit more with the shot than you normally would if they were back at the baseline.
$40-30.
And that's a little bit frustrating if you're Pospisil. Nothing you can do about it, but you know, you're playing a great game, you're putting balls in play and making them come up with the goods, but you can't even get a racket on it. So yes, nothing you can do, but it's still frustrating.
And another big first delivery from Milos Raonic, who holds for a 3-2 lead in the third.
2-2, third set.
One set apiece
1 set all.
on Armstrong. Service game's becoming a little tighter, it seems, as this match moves along.
Yeah, it's funny. In the first set, after the first game, I felt like both players doing a great job just really taking care of their serves, holding, you know, not easy, but, you know, a lot easier than they are right now. Games have gotten a lot tighter. I think both players getting used to each other's serve a little bit more and knowing each other's tendencies, and that's what happens as the match goes on. So,
well, that means this is going to be fun from here on out.
Oh, yeah.
Love 15.
Got to give credit to Raonic too, because he could easily just chip some returns back, but he's sticking to the game plan and still trying to be aggressive and hitting through the returns, just like that one right there. Take a real short backswing and using the pace.
Do you think it could benefit him to
Love
chip
steady.
more of these returns back and get the point started?
I think once in a while, maybe, you know, if he's not feeling the return, maybe boost some confidence, you know, get some balls in play and maybe force a couple freebies out of his opponent. But, you know, he's confident right now, so he's going for his returns. And obviously here it shows he's had 2 really good ones in a row to get into the point, and Pospisil is on his heels again here and down love 30. Well, I like that serving volley from Pospisil down love 30.
Looked like he took
15,
a little bit
30.
off, too,
Yeah.
to make sure he got that in nice and deep and followed it forward.
Take a little bit off it so that it gives you time to get into the net. Obviously, the faster you hit it, the faster it's going to come back at you. It doesn't really give you much time to follow it in.
Let first serve.
That's why you see the serve and volleyers, when they do take a little bit of pace off, they're almost at the service line or inside the service line by the time they hit their first volley. There, Raonic giving Pospisil a little taste of his own medicine there, coming
15-14.
into the backhand side.
For his efforts.
Yeah.
Gives himself 2 break points.
Thirty 14.
I feel like every single one of these last couple games have been so close. A point here or there. Both players doing a really good job putting pressure on each other to hold serve.
And another big first serve from Pospisil. It's kind of the pattern we've seen all match.
Yeah.
And that's a credit to both of these guys. Come up with the big serves when they need them the most. And another
Advantage,
huge one. That's an
Pospisil.
ace down the tee for Pospisil, his 9th of the match.
I'm so impressed. These guys have been so clutch, especially when down in the games when they're serving, just coming to the line and really delivering.
And again,
Game Pospisil.
an unreturnable. And from 15-40 down,
3
Pospisil
games all.
makes his way back
Third
to
set.
3-all in the third.
Fifteen love.
He knew he had it too. He was on. He was trying to be aggressive. That time.
That was a jumping forehand.
Because he overran it.
Yeah, wow. That was not easy.
15 all.
It was a super athletic pass there from Pospisil. Look how he hits his pass. Then he almost got to the ball a little bit too quickly and then jumps up and hits it. That was an awkward shot.
Well, he had to hit the brakes almost, right?
Yeah. He's laughing at that one.
think he was expecting a firmer volley from Raonic. Right?
That was awesome.
30-15.
That might have ticked Milos Raonic off a little bit. He didn't like getting passed like that.
It was a little bit of his own fault, though. He shanked the forehand volley just a little bit and sort of popped it up. The slightest in the middle of the court. Vasek overran it, hit the brakes, went up instead of out, and found the pass.
(40-15).
I think Milos has shook it off at this point.
Yeah.
2 big serves right behind it.
Game Raonic.
And an ace, number 21, blackjack for Raonic.
Raonic leads 4 games to 3. Third set.
In the third.
1 set all. (15-love).
Pospisil's into double digits now in the ace count. His 10th of the match as he serves at 3-4 in the third. Milos Raonic took the first. Pospisil only break of the match so far in the second. Took that set 6-3. Both players have had their chances on the other's serve. And both players have come up with
30
some
love.
big serves when they've needed it most. The rally
(40-love).
pattern we've seen a lot of in this match, just hard down the middle from both guys.
Both players love kind of creating that kind of angle, right? So if you go hard down the middle, it takes it away from one another. And as soon as you open it up to the Raonic forehand or the Pospisil forehand, they can really angle it off the court, and that can get you in trouble. So that's why you see a lot of the hard hitting down the middle of the court.
So while it looks really aggressive, it's actually a little bit defensive, or at least neutralizing. That's the whole idea. That's
Again,
just some solid
Pospisil.
tennis from Pospisil, and it's one of the first comfortable service games we've
4
had in
games
a while
all.
out here.
I
Third
wouldn't say
set.
it's really defensive going hard middle. It's actually a good tactic for both players to do against one another, because on the Pospisil forehand side, he can hit an incredible short angle cross court. It's actually one of his best shots. And the same thing for Raonic. He loves having that angle. If he runs around and hit the forehand on the ad side, he can really angle it off inside out. So the middle kind of takes away those angles from both players.
That's why I added the term neutralize.
Yes, that's
That's really what it
good.
is. I saw the look you gave me when I said the word defensive. I said I better lighten up on that. I need to get Jesse
No,
mad at me.
come on.
Love 15.
8th double fault in the match for Raonic. Hasn't come back to bite him yet.
(15 all). 30-15. $40-15.
Good stuff there from Raonic. Almost get the feeling that it's a little bit like a chess game right now, kind of seeing what position, what move you're going to make next. You know, it's not a full-out slugfest again. Now it's kind of jockeying for position again, which way you're going to serve, where I'm going to hit the return. A lot more thought going into it now.
Again,
Down
Raonic.
the tee from Raonic. He holds. Takes a
Raonic leads
5-4
5
lead
games
in
to
the
4.
third.
Third set.
Pospisil
One set all.
serves to stay in the third set after they change ends. Here we go, business end of the third set. They've sort of traded both of these guys, Pospisil and Raonic, going from difficult service escapes to relatively smooth service holds. What do we have in store for Pospisil here at 4-5?
Always a little bit
Love
mentally
15.
tougher too for someone like Pospisil now, who's having to play catch up the whole set. He's always behind. Now he's serving just to stay in the set. So Raonic always having the lead, obviously on serve, but always more difficult mentally to stay in a set that way.
$15 all.
Bit of kicking there from Pospisil.
Yeah, it was.
You'll notice that as the games get closer and this match gets closer and closer, yes, he's being aggressive, but again, he's having really big targets. He's going for his shots, but not too close to the line.
Right, and that was less of the down the middle and
Yeah.
more. He was picking on the backhand.
Exactly.
30-15.
That's just a perfect place, serve down the tee.
$40-15. $40-30.
That's a solid return there from Raonic. Didn't really do too much with it. Just kind of putting it in play, giving Pospisil the opportunity to make an error like that. But I'd like to see a little bit more consistency on the return to serve for Raonic right now, especially in a moment like this.
Game,
He's got to get a
Pospisil.
racket on it first, but great serving there from Pospisil.
5 games all. Third set.
You know, they've already been playing for 2 hours and 26 minutes. I just don't feel like it's been extremely physical match, but more mentally draining than physical right now. You know, they're having, both players having some opportunities here and there.
Love 15.
It's so important in tight moments when you feel yourself getting a little bit nervous and you tense up a little bit. You got to keep those feet moving faster than what you normally would.
Double from Raonic.
Love 13.
His 8th of the match, but more importantly, love 30 for Pospisil here at 5-all in the third.
Oh,
15-30.
He follows it up. That was 138 up the tee. I mean, that is just unbelievable.
And it completely follows the script of what we've seen
Yeah.
most of today. Get in trouble on serve, pound out some big ones. It's still 15-30 at 5-all. More work to do for Raonic.
Thanks, gentlemen. North side, cameramen, stop moving, please.
Hard to hide out there.
Yeah, with no crowds, it just, you're way more aware of that. Wow, what a kick serve. You see how short in the court he got that
30
ball
all.
to land?
That was vicious.
Yeah.
That came down in a hurry and then bounced up really high.
Yeah. That's the one that creeps up on you.
Yes.
That's the one we talked about. And Pospisil obviously didn't anticipate that ball bouncing that short. You either got to go up in the court or back up, because from there it's almost impossible to do anything with it.
That's a good concentration from Raonic, who
Yes.
had a big pause between his first and second serve.
40-30.
Pospisil just kind of like, what do I do? There's not much you can do if he's hitting serves like that.
No, you just say, nice job, and
Yeah.
try to hold and force a tiebreak at that point. All right, from love 30 down, a point for 6-5 for Milos Raonic.
Game
First
Raonic.
point this match, Pospisil's lost at net.
Raonic leads
Got a
6
little
games to
unlucky with
5.
the leg
Third
court there,
set,
as that kind
1
of
set
threw him
all.
off, but I did like the approach shot coming in.
Yeah, it was good stuff, but Raonic holds for 6-5. Vasek Pospisil will now serve to stay in the third set, hoping to force a third set tiebreak. Raonic took the first set in a tiebreaker. Pospisil came back with the only break we've had so far in this match. That came in the second set, which he won 6-3. That's a great return
Love
from
15.
Milos Raonic.
I thought Pospisil made that for a second. That would have been an unbelievable shot from that position.
Both guys playing with a little bit of fire going down early in their service games. Both have been able to manage to serve their way out of it, but how many times? Oh, that is amazing.
Made that look so easy, too.
15 all.
The way he had to cut the ball for it to bounce that short in the court, and on the backhand side on top of that, that was amazing volley there from Pospisil.
He clipped the line,
Yeah.
too, I think.
Stop.
What?
Come on.
What
15
just happened
seconds.
here?
That was... I think he thought his serve was out
Yeah,
first.
he played it like it was out.
But behind the back, that was unbelievable for Pospisil. Top 10. Da-na-na, da-na-na. That was amazing. I thought he was going to win the point for a second, and then I thought he was even going to challenge the last shot there from Raonic. He's got to regroup here and get focus back.
Yeah, that is...
It's going to happen really fast.
That's TSN turning point right there.
Wow.
Oh, and that just flows right with everything. Big serves when they need it the most.
I tell you, both these guys are such gamers. When it comes to the crucial moments, they're both stepping up to the plate right now. Coming up clutch.
Both of them were pretty good at shutting out the bad stuff, too, because Pospisil had every reason to let that last point linger.
Ugh.
Still not out of danger yet. 5-6, 30 all.
Come on.
40,
Wow.
30.
This is a serving clinic from both.
Can you just confirm that this is not as easy as this guy
No,
are making it look?
Especially in these moments. 5-6, 30 all.
Again, Pospisil.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yep.
Tiebreak decides the third.
6 games all. Third
It's only
set,
fitting, I suppose.
tiebreak. Both players have received one additional challenge.
See Coach Mario Tudor looking on there for Milos Raonic.
One zero.
It's a good start there from Raonic.
Raonic.
Just get that feeling now. Whoever can get that quick little mini break may run away with it.
That's what happened in the
both
first
of them
set.
are serving right now, just incredible.
That's what happened in the first set. Early in the first set breaker, Raonic got a mini break and really never looked back. Kind of blew him out. 7 points to 1.
Yeah, that's too good there from Pospisil. Really, he's had a lot of success when he comes in behind that, especially to the Raonic back end where he lifts it up just a little bit too much on this pass. Pospisil's just too good at the net. Those are
2-1.
huge 2 points there from Pospisil.
Pospisil.
He's been playing catch up the whole match, and finally, yes, it's a tiebreaker, but he has a little bit of a lead to work with, even though it's still on serve. Those minor points make a huge difference in this tiebreaker.
That's just sort of luck of the draw when he was serving from behind all set. And a double from Milos, and the first
3-1.
mini break goes to Vasek Pospisil.
Raonic is not going to be happy with that. Got to make your opponent earn it in these moments. If if I'm Pospisil now, you have that mini break, I'd take a chance on this return and go for it.
Playing with house money a
Yeah,
little bit.
exactly.
You got to get your racket on it first,
Yes.
right?
3-2.
Said. I mean, I feel like every time
Pospisil.
Raonic has double faulted or given a bad error or freebie, he's just come back with an ace the next time. He's coming back with interest.
I feel like you're pretty much right on, actually.
Yeah, when he's had a loose error or double fault, he comes back with an ace. Just regains that focus.
Pospisil playing with the lead, up 3-2.
Four-two, Pospisil.
Absolutely as tight as can be. Russ Thaler, Jesse Levine on the call as Vasek Pospisil leads 4-2 in the third set tiebreak. These Canadian rivals split the first 2 sets. Milos Raonic, the 25 seed, and Vasek Pospisil. They have played each other in the juniors, futures, challengers, 250, 500, Masters 1000, and now in a Grand Slam event. There's been very little between these two for the entire match. One break of serve that came in the second set.
Oh,
5-2.
pass there from Pospisil up the line. I feel like both
Pospisil.
players are putting on a serving clinic all match long. Been very few looks on the return to serve throughout this match. And this tiebreaker Raonic kind of giving Pospisil a little bit of that freebie with the double fault. Got to keep both these points here if you're Raonic, obviously. Put the pressure on Pospisil to win both points.
Milos Raonic has
5-3
24 aces
Pospisil.
in this match to Pospisil's 15. They've been putting on a show as far as clutch performances go as well. Both players have faced adversity on serve. Each time they've come through with big responses.
Oh, that was huge from Raonic.
5-4.
Unbelievable serve. Pospisil doing
Pospisil.
a really great job of slicing that return, keeping it low, making Raonic move up and away from it, but Raonic gets up to that and accelerates right through that, whipping that cross court off the court. If you're Raonic, that's all you can do. Now you need to just make Pospisil play as much as possible here, put the pressure on him.
Mr.
Another big
Raonic
first
challenging
serve.
the call.
Challenge it. Might as well. You get
Right
an extra
service
one in the
line.
breaker anyway.
The ball was called in.
I think he knows it was good, but oh, come
Just
on.
caught.
Wow.
And that
6-4.
gives Vasek
Pospisil.
Pospisil 2 set points for a 2-1 lead. And Pospisil gets it done
Third set. Pospisil.
with the forehand
7 games
pass
to
down
6.
the line. The
Pospisil
94th ranked player in
leads
the world
2-1.
is up 2-1 on the 25th seed here on Armstrong. Up 2-1. 29-year-old 25 seed Milos Raonic from Ontario, Canada.
Left for serve.
Nearly 3 hours in, and we're just starting the fourth set.
Love 15.
Just for a little context, when Milos Raonic has fallen behind 2-1, he's 1-3 lifetime at the U.S. Open. His only win coming back from 2-1 down came back in 2012. Whereas Pospisil, as you might imagine, a winning record when up 2-1 at majors.
Love
4-2. And he's won 3 of his last 4 from 2-1 up. That said, Jesse, this match has been so tight that I think it's nearly impossible to have a read on where we're going from here.
Well, both players have been really coming up clutch.
Let first serve.
First game, 4th set, Vasek Pospisil up 2-1, but in a quick love 30 hole to Milos Raonic, 25 seed.
Oh, come on. What a shot there from Pospisil. Raonic doing a really good job on that slice. Was a little bit out of position. Did a great job of hitting that slice short cross court, figuring that Pospisil was going to have to hit a backhand. But Pospisil moving around so quickly, giving himself that forehand inside in.
Thirty-all. Vasek
Pospisil digging out of a love 30 hole here in the first game of the 4th set. He leads 2-1 on the 25 seed, Milos Raonic.
Game.
Huge down the tee.
Great serve there from Pospisil.
First game,
You just
4th
get the feeling
set.
that both
New
players,
balls,
every time
please.
they've been down love 30 or 15-40, they just come up with the goods on the serve and just really picking their spots and doing a great job.
It's been one of the big stories of this match, where each player has faced adversity on serve and both have responded with aplomb. A lot of aces and a lot of unreturnables on those big points.
Yeah, 100%. There's nothing, not a better feeling when you go behind in a game and coming out and hitting serves that aren't even returnable. It takes that much pressure off you. Might be getting a little bit nervous or feel that a little bit of anxiety or tense up or something like that. But, you know, the fact that you can go out there and hit a serve 125 to 135 miles an hour right in the corner just takes that kind of power, that stress off.
This time it'll be Raonic playing from behind on serve.
Love 15.
Jesse, as you've said, Milos has worked a lot on his net game and moving forward.
I think he was anticipating a backhand volley there. He just got caught. Pospisil doing a good job going behind him, but yeah, he's been working on that a lot.
$15.
Just what we talked about. You go down love 15, you go down love 30, you find yourself in a little bit of a hole. You come back with that.
30-15.
Both of these guys have been serving so well for the match. Raonic is serving 70% first serve in play. Pospisil at 66%, not far behind him.
40-15.
Amount of heat these guys can produce on first serve, that is a tough calculation to get through.
Just to show you how clutch both of them are serving. I mean, Raonic is 0 for 5 on break points, and Pospisil's 1 for 9. Those aren't because they didn't convert them, it's because they were just taken away.
Game Raonic.
And Raonic holds for 1-all. Set number 4.
Fourth set.
Not a whole lot of secrets on the court between these two. Similar ages. Pospisil and Raonic have both dealt with all sorts of injuries throughout their careers. Pospisil, a major champion. He won the 2014 Wimbledon title with Jack Sock a year after reaching the round of 16 with one Jesse Levine.
He's a smart man. Didn't want to play with me again. Round of 16 wasn't good enough. He goes ahead and wins it the next year.
I'd say he was ahead of the curve. That's before everyone realized that Jack Sock might be the
15
best doubles
love.
player in the world.
Yep, great stuff there from Pospisil. Really good job recognizing that ball floating, doing a good job of moving forward and knocking that volley off and going short cross court so that Raonic can't even make a move.
30
back.
love.
Well, Raonic has certainly improved through work on his net game and moving forward. Pospisil, the more natural player
40
in the
love.
front court, and he's won 23 of 25 advances to the net in this match.
Game.
Smart stuff there
Pospisil.
from Pospisil. Throwing a little change up in there.
Pospisil leads 2 games to 1. Fourth set, and
So
by
on
2
serve,
sets to
early
1.
stages of the fourth set, tight as can be between a couple of Canadians, Raonic and Pospisil. Vasek Pospisil and Milos Raonic, who serves at 1-2, down 2 sets to 1. For the third straight game in this set, the
Love
server
15.
starts in a hole. You wonder how many lives these guys have. But with their big first and second serves, it seems like they've got a lot in the tank.
Great play there from Raonic.
15 all.
I just feel like after the first set, Raonic really kind of maybe let his foot off the gas a little bit. Just hasn't stayed as aggressive as he was from the beginning. When he came out the gates pretty hot after the first kind of close service game that he had. Ever since then, if they get into a rally, it's been more Pospisil kind of going for it a little bit more and being aggressive.
30-15.
He hasn't let his foot off the gas on the serve, that's for sure.
And that's the great equalizer.
Yeah, I mean, that's 27 aces.
I'd say something. The USTA Foundation Rally to Rebuild is loving that because Mercedes-Benz is giving $50 per ace this tournament. Milos is certainly doing his part.
That's a great point there from Raonic, doing a good job of
40-15.
the forehand. But you see someone stretched on the full out with the open racket face like Pospisil was, and you can sneak in and knock off a volley. Obviously, still won the point, but having to work a little bit more than he would have liked.
Game.
That time
Raonic.
Raonic is coming in, but he goes behind Pospisil. Doesn't need to do anything.
2 games
He
all.
holds for 2-all.
Fourth set.
Now, you had mentioned that Milos is really working on moving forward and hitting his volleys. Is that part of it too? The recognition of the right time to move forward?
Yeah, it's his whole transition game. I mean, from the back, he always had the power game, and he got the grind game down as well to make his opponent play as many balls as he can, and that puts pressure on them, especially when you know you're up against the Raonic serve. But knowing when and where to come in is key. He has a tremendous
15
amount of
love.
success when he comes in behind his opponent.
That's the 7th train. You can hear screeching to a halt.
You're used
Tracks
to
are-
hearing that, right? And fans kind of take away that
30
noise
love.
when they're here usually.
Yeah, usually that noise gets sucked up by the humans in the building, but without anyone, the train tracks are right behind Armstrong.
Forty love.
Just adds to the flavor.
Yeah, that's good serving there from Pospisil. Last game when he was up 40 love, kind of threw in a little change up, serving volley behind it, see if he does it again.
I gotta admit, I'm missing a little bit of the smell of the grilled meats that you usually get when you walk the grounds. It always smells like good food, but that's not happened this year.
Game.
Pospisil
Pospisil.
holds and leads 3-2
Pospisil
in the
leads
4th.
3 games
over
to
Milos
2.
Raonic.
Fourth set, and by 2 sets to 1.
It's hot and humid out here. It seems to be helping. He's up 2 sets to 1 on Milos Raonic, and there it is. Jesse, you said you want to give that a shot, right?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
15 love.
Pospisil is actually known to have a little bit of trouble with the heat, so for him to have a tool like that is definitely helpful for sure.
You were saying earlier that he finally figured out the right formula,
Yeah,
right? He had
he's
some cramping
experimenting.
issues.
Experiment with a lot of different drinks. A lot of different foods, a lot of different drinks. Find what works for him.
Well, that's great stuff. And it all started with some nice
15 all.
improvisation on the return of serve. Or maybe self-defense, if
Yeah,
you will.
I always call that self-defense on the return. But then once he gets a forehand that he can dictate, Pospisil does a really great job of just going for a shot, picking his target, and then going behind him with his backhand. Really great hitting there from Pospisil. He sets up, holds that to the last second.
Well, that was great hustle from Pospisil to keep the point going.
Yeah, that round
30-15.
inside out almost tails away. He almost puts like side spin on that. So difficult to get to. See how he comes around that and the ball keeps tailing away from Pospisil to set him up for this next one. Really great stuff. Some great points here.
40-15. Game, Raonic.
Those are the holds we're more accustomed to from Raonic.
3 games all, fourth set.
since the beginning of the third set. Every service game has felt like it's been on pins and needles.
Fifteen love.
Oh, come on.
That's just a beautiful pickup from Vasek Pospisil.
Those
30
hands,
love.
unbelievable.
Not the first time we've seen something like that in this match.
No, and Raonic did a really awesome job of getting that low on him. Pospisil just making him run. Picking that up off his shoelaces. On the bounce, too. That is not an easy shot that Pospisil just hit.
Thought for a split second that Raonic might try to go around.
40 love.
Really haven't seen that many body serves from Pospisil. He's really been hitting his spots wider tee, but doing a good job of mixing it up there. One into the body. He's been serving and volleying every time he's been up 40 love. See if he continues.
$40-50.
He's going to want that shot back.
Yeah, that was ill-advised.
Yeah. Just tried to switch his grip there at the last second.
That might have been a 40 love type of decision.
Agree.
Again,
got the big boomer to
Pospisil.
back it up. Pospisil holds for
Pospisil
4-3
leads
in
4
the
games to
fourth,
3.
and he leads 2
Fourth
sets
set,
to 1
and
over
by
Milos
2 sets to
Raonic.
1.
Raonic on serve, back half of set number 4. Raonic serving at 3-4 on serve here on Louis Armstrong Stadium. Russ Thaler and Jesse Levine on the call. An all-Canadian second-round matchup at the U.S. Open. Raonic is 0 for 3 in his last 3 matches against fellow Canadians,
15 love.
including a loss to Vasek Pospisil in Antwerp in 2018. That said, Raonic comes into this event in great form, having reached the final at the Western and Southern right here this year at the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center, where he lost in 3 sets to Novak Djokovic. Pospisil already a
15 all.
finalist this year in Montpellier, where he beat Denis Shapovalov, Richard Gasquet, David Goffin before losing to Gael Monfils in the final. He also has a win over Tsitsipas in a quarterfinal run in Marseille. So we've got 2 guys playing in near peak form.
I love that return there for Pospisil.
15-30.
Throwing in the slice change-up, making Raonic really come up with the pace on his own. It's tough to come up with that kind of pace off that slow, deep ball like that. Got to get it up and over the net. Stayed a little bit low on him. Good mix-up there from Pospisil to start off the point.
Pospisil might have a little peek at the finish lines on the horizon. He's got 15:30 for a break that would let him serve for the match.
Oh, that's just too good. Another great return there from Pospisil. Doing a good job of hitting that slice and keeping it low. Raonic just doing an amazing job of dealing with it. That stayed really low. To get that ball to go up and over the net from that point, you've got to really accelerate and whip the racket head through. Does a great job. Oh, wow.
30-40.
So that's the 11th double fault of the match, but more importantly, it gives Pospisil his 10th break opportunity. He's 1 for 9, and that's the only break of the match. But this is the only one that matters right now. 3-4, 30-40.
That's a great return there for Pospisil. Deep down the middle, doing an amazing job to fend that off. That was not easy.
5 games to 3.
Raonic put some juice on that second serve.
Yeah, but Pospisil now has all the juice flowing in his direction because he will serve for the match at 5-3 in the 4th.
It's amazing. It just kind of came out of nowhere, right?
It was always going to be like that, though.
Yeah.
If you watch this match as we have from the first point, you knew the turning point was going to come, but you didn't know when. Perhaps that was it.
Oh, he thought that was going long. When in doubt, you're serving for the match. If you even have the slightest doubt, play it. But in the moment, easier said than done.
Give me a real answer here. Did he think it was going long, or did he hope it was going long?
Both. Oh, come on.
That big kick second serve has been really good for Vasek Pospisil out of the strike zone of Milos Raonic's backhand.
You know you hit a good kick serve when it got up on Raonic.
Raonic is about 6'5", and he had to leave his feet and reach as high as he could to get to it.
Some extra pep on that kick serve there from Pospisil.
That's one of the differences that we've seen Pospisil doing better on second serves than Raonic.
That's the play he's used a lot more than Raonic. He's thrown in that slice as kind of a change-up, give a different look at it, and there it shows that it pays off.
Now, Vasek Pospisil is 2 points from the match, 2 points from his first ever foray into round 3 at the U.S. Open. This is his 5th trip to the second round. And now, match points for Vasek Pospisil. Pospisil is 6-4 in his last 10 against top 20 opponents. Raonic, even though he's seeded 25, actually comes in as the 18th ranked player in the world because the new rankings came out on Monday. And Vasek Pospisil with a match point for a spot in round 3.
Game, set, and match.
And he finishes it with authority.
3 sets to 1,
20th
6-7,
match.
6-3, 7-6, 6-3.
Vasek Pospisil takes out his countryman Milos Raonic. The seed has fallen, and Pospisil is into the 3rd round of the U.S. Open for the first time in his career.
Oh, we said it first early on that no matter what the ranking difference is, when you're playing a close friend and countryman, that all goes out the door. They know each other's game so well, and Pospisil did such an amazing job today, competing every single point when he had moments. He converted on those small chances that he had all match long.